VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing. Good mid-afternoon on the 4th day of December, if you can believe this already, of 2023 on a seasonably nice 37 degrees, and of course, it's overcast and completely cloudy in the great state of Michigan, just outside of the Motor City, on our way to the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois, right? VINCENZO'S Gold Crypto Investing. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, like it, and share it to get that truth and integrity you come to expect from, just like the Fighting Jim Harbaughs and Michigan Wolverines. They are the number one team in the nation, in the land, for the first time since 1998 Rose Bowl victory where they won the national championship. The Michigan Wolverines, 26 years to the day, will make the trip back out west to prove once and for all that they are the leaders and the champions of the West in the great Rose Bowl on 1/1/2024, 5 p.m. against the new criminal gangsters of college football, as we've already beaten down and knocked down and disrupted and dismantled the Ohio State University. Brother, 3 years in a row, we've rattled their head coach, players are transferring, and it's all coming unglued in Columbus. The Michigan Wolverines and Fighting Jim Harbaughs will look to knock out and beat down and take out Jalen Milroe and the 19-time defending national champion Alabama Crimson Tide, and that charlatan and the henchman, that is Nick Saban. But just as they are the number one team in the nation in the Rose Bowl, granddaddy of them all, this is the number one cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and information and truth in the cryptocurrency deal, right? We've taken some time off. We've had a lot of work. I told you I don't make any money on this. It's all free. I do this just out of my own free will, and when the time I have to do it, I don't make any money off this. I make about 3 cents a day, but I do work 7 days a week. I've been working a lot of 70, 80, and 90-hour weeks, along with, like I'm on right now, another trip to Bloomington, and I've made 4 trips to Bloomington in the last, 31 days. So I've been doing a lot of work. I haven't a lot of time to talk about this stuff, but we're going to make a video here. Hopefully my audience hasn't left me. I mean, I would have left me if I were you guys. I haven't been talking much recently. But you can see the XRP price. As the last time we talked, this was the great pump and the momentum and the great news orchestrated with the Judge Toros and all that other nonsense, right? It looks like we're going to have to do this. It's been so long. I forgot I have to go into here, and I have to click that. No, obviously it wasn't that. It's been so long, I don't remember what I'm doing here. We got to go into here, and then we got to hit focus, and we got to hit do not disturb, and then we got to hit our break because, of course, there's more traffic. And then we got to go back into here. We got to go back into there. We got to go into here, and we got to hit our emergency exclusive purchasing tool. But we were in here when we were in Canada when we were talking last, down in here, October. Yep, that's about when I started the last video. We were just before the great pump, and we told you if we pumped up again, we would come up to this ever elusive and ever talked about 69 cents, which is the top part of this blue trading zone, which we busted back through right here, right? And we came up exactly almost to a T to this blue trading zone and this overhead descending major upper resistance that we haven't been able to break for several years now. Every time we break it briefly, we fall back below it, and you can see we hit the top part of this blue trading zone recently. If we take a brief synopsis here with our pointer tool, you can see we ran up back here on early November the 6th, just before old VINCENZO'S birthday. We got rejected by the top part of this blue zone and this overhead resistance. That's been overhead resistance for several years at varying levels because it started way up on the far way back left machine if we took a look back at that, but we're not right now. It was way back up, and it's been descending as we stretch out to the right, which is the future, right? And that's where we're headed right now, the future. And you can see what we got going on here is we got rejected once, came back down, got supported, had this quick pump up, this quick false narrative where everybody got excited again. It breached the old high, but quickly got rejected, reversed upon, and within an hour time frame, it lost about 20%. If we take a measurement now, it might be about 12.69%. We'll take a measurement there, but that was the big reversal there, right? The big pump up, the big dump down. And now we got touched on the bottom part of this blue trading zone, and we got a brief support. And if we don't hold this brief support, there's a big, big fall coming, even though the price, the Bitcoin price, has been rising and is actually at a 52-week high, I believe, and it briefly broke the 42,500. It's up about 125% in the last 52 weeks. But you can see, we'll get into that price here in a second. Oh, look at that, was pretty good. 21.93% dump right there between bottom to top. And now what you're looking at and what you need to pay attention to is, I keep stressing this, is the volume is still not there. Here's your daily volume. Fucking time. Excuse me, French. For any of the younger audience that's here. But I know Vincenzo, we swear every now and then. You know, YouTube doesn't like that too much. But you can see the volume since this chart, and I can bring the other chart out that goes back to about 2012 or 2011, somewhere in there is the longest chart I could find. But look at your volume on the big orgasmic pump in 2018, and then look at the biggest crypto pump of all time. The volume was substantially lower than here, and now on this recent pump right here, the volume, it's at record lows, right? And it continues to get lower, and as long as that continues to get lower, that doesn't lead me to there's any substantial thrust and fortitude to hold the big gain like we have right now. And I believe we're still in this rising channel. I've been talking about this, even though I haven't talked in about 6 weeks, that the players on the field have remained the same, right? Time has pushed on, price action has changed a little bit, but the players on the field remain the same, right? And if you don't know the players on the field, you can't play the fucking game, right? And the players on this field are the volume is the major player. The bear market is another major player. And the technicals and the news, the structure, and the legitimacy of individual coins, coin by coin basis. But right here, the structure of this has not changed since the last time, bringing back our world-made and YouTube created and made famous perching tool. We started after the Great Dump, the Great Flush, and the Great Local Capitulation of March 2022, where we had about a 50% fall. We hit support, right? Formed our base. Upper resistance, lower support, support. Upper resistance again. The news, the orchestrated and criminal gangster manipulation pump, which fell directly and conveniently and strategically back down because the manipulation is strong. All with these guys that I keep trying to talk to you about. Hit our local support. Now we came back up again and hit our upper resistance. And we have here a bearish continuation pattern, right? The bearish continuation pattern. It's a rising channel. Rising channels are bullish patterns with bearish reversal patterns at the top. These are basic technical, super simple and easy basic technical analysis things. And that's where we've been in for almost 9 months, 8.5 months now, right? And the thing you got to watch out for if you want to break bullish, you got to break through here forcefully with a huge volume spike, and then you can make a run at $1, $1.25, $1.50, even $1.69.69. But if this pattern breaks bearish, like I think it's going to, which is not a popular opinion, you got to come all the way back down to a minimum of that 31 cents, which is greater than a 50% flush. From where we're at now, nobody wants to hear that, but I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to get rich off my subscribers. I'm not here to fleece, heist, and shite and sell you a bill of goods to make up the Vincenzo coins and the Genzos and to fleece you on projects that I'm being paid to promote the only dump right into the face of my audience. I'm here to grow slow. I'm here to grow steady. I'm here to grow with truth and knowledge and information and education. And I'm not here or worried about making an income off of this because I have a job, right? This is just extra if it ever took off, which it's not, because I'm not the biggest bull pusher on the planet. I'm not the hype train machine or the paid promoter, right? We speak with truth and integrity, which gets us suppressed and subverted. But this is the pattern that you're in. You You want to break bullish, you got to get above this blue trading zone, and you got to break out of this green rising channel where you have your uptrending upper resistance, uptrending lower support, right? And if you break out of this, you have a 50% crash coming, but that's for another time and another day. If you want to get up to these old all-time highs, if you want to get up to that $1.69, if you want to try to magically think and observe and feel that $2 mark again, you got to get the volume, you got to get the buyers, you got to get the momentum, and you got to get sustained momentum into the coin, which can only be achieved by buyers coming in and continuing to pile in at a greater and greater level, looking at the volume, and right now that's just not happening. But the Bitcoin price is something that has been happening, and you can see it exploded since we last talked, because when we last talked, we were down here continuously getting rejected by this red trading zone, which is the VP volume indicator. And right now you're attempting to go bullish for the first time in greater than almost 2 years, since April of 2022, when you were above the VP volume indicator. Now you're above it again, and you're getting a nice candle here on the weekly candle as starting the new week off with a big pump. And you can see from the last time we talked, we had rejection, rising channel, held support here on a double bottom on the 200-day moving average, forcefully now trying to fly through and breach this VP volume indicator. But the one thing, like the XRP, the volume, just looking back from the last 3.5 years, has continued to go down, even on this most recent pump, which has been a greater than, I think, a 50% move, right? And that's something that we're going to have to watch out for. Do you continue to move to the upside, or do you quickly have a reversal candle as you've been sort of getting overextended here on this up and then this up and sideways consolidation, which often tells you and signifies that the buyers and the momentum are starting to whittle out of the market and slowly die off. As you can see in the weekly time frame, we haven't had no big volume push. And if we take a look at the monthly time frame, going all the way back, if we can't get this off the chart, going all the way back, as far as this chart goes, which isn't very far, it's only 2016, you can see the volume has leveled off since 2016, and the volume is substantially less than the greatest volume pump to date back in the big bull market of 2016, and then it double topped, but mostly was only exceeding the volume back here, but because of all the heavy sell pressure, right? And you can see where we're at right now, which is very, very low, which leads me to believe this is just one massive bear market, hook-nosed view, orchestrated and manipulated bear market rally, and I think eventually the buyers are going to be exhausted as the volume hasn't increased, and this thing is going to come back down, and I think it could come all the way back down to that 19,000 blue trading zone, right? Like, subscribe, and share. We're going to get back into the game now. The wintertime season is here. There's a lot of information going around everywhere, and we're going to continue to make our videos and get back into the scheme of the cryptocurrency as we allowed the price action to mature a little bit and took a little bit of a break from this because I don't make any money on it, but I've been extremely busy, work 7 days a week, traveling all over the country, 70 to 95 hours a week. But we're going to continue to rotate and filtrate and infiltrate this back in to the daily system. There will be a video every day now, here on out. Like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate and love each and every one of you.